Welcome back to the Uprising Network. We're back. Another movie review of The Bad and the Ugly.
Truly the good bad.
Wow, that might be the title of the show. The Bad and the Ugly. But, okay, so once again, we don't have a title for these, but besides it's just a movie review. And we're back with another one. This one is called Pierre Jackson. This was Jazzmin's pick.
Loved it. 10 out of 10.
Now, when I first heard the name Pierre Jackson, my initial reaction was like, hey, this is about to be an action movie. You know, I'm thinking Pierre Jackson's about to save the world. All Pierre Jackson did was waste my time. That's all
Pierre reinvigorated me about love.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, much better than I Got the Hookup in the sense of a storyline. I'll say it that way.
I will say, though, the first time I watched it, and I was like, what was the plot? Like, there's a more, like, clear direction.
Right.
But it was also, like, so So Pierre Jackson is, if we have to put it in a genre, I'm assuming a drama?
It's a drama for sure.
It's a drama.
It wasn't funny on purpose. So
no, there's nothing intentional. There was not even.
It's drama.
Drama. So it's a drama about, per the IMDb, a real estate tycoon.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a tycoon.
Wow.
Tycoon who is going through a contentious divorce and discovers he's in love with his best friend. Now, I think it's weird that they say discovered because they both definitely said they've been in love with each other for like a really long time. They're allegedly only 35. If you saw these people, you'd be like, 45?
Yeah, and I was a little offended by the fact that they thought they can get away with being 35. I'm 33 years old, and I know I don't look or feel 33 for that matter. And with them being 35, they look like they were
hard.
It was now
hard.
The alcohol might have something to do with it.
Oh yes,
because even though he was drinking throughout the entire movie, I felt like in real life he's an
alcoholic. I'll say
he's a drinker for sure. He got them dark eyes, you know, them cigarette smoker eyes. Yep. He got those
several. He's been on a bender.
He take a bottle of whatever dark. It don't even matter. He don't even have a preference. He just chooses whatever's dark. That's what his drink of the day.
It was weird though because he also said he was drinking Grey Goose, and he does not seem like a Grey Goose type of guy
at all.
No,
at all. I don't think I didn't see nothing that ever white in his cup.
No, you didn't either.
So Pierre Jackson is sleeping on his best friend's couch after being divorced, which they don't really. My biggest issue with the movie is that they don't do a good job of telling you a time frame of how long things are happening. You know, so if you're not really paying much attention, a lot of this could look like it happened within the span of a week.
Yeah,
you know?
I would think it was a week-long movie.
You know, some people thought that's the best part of it, which the fact that it's
quick.
It's quick. You know?
I thought this movie was only maybe 50 minutes long. It turns out it's an hour and a half, and it didn't feel like an hour and a half.
Didn't.
I thought it was maybe an hour because it was so like Another part about the movie that, well, actually, what did you think about the plot? The plot of the movie.
The plot was very Tyler Perry, like Diary of a Mad Black Husband.
He was a mad black husband.
Diary of a Mad Black Alcoholic Husband.
Yes. But the thing is, I didn't feel like, you know, in the protagonist, I didn't feel anything for him. Like, you're supposed to want him to win.
Yeah. Now throughout the this is my train of thought. Throughout the film, he tried to be like super emotional. Like whenever his wife would come in,
and violent.
He would be like, it was an attempt to get us to be like on his side, like, oh my God, I really feel for him.
He seemed abusive.
No, it seemed like, all right, bro, she cheated on you because you probably deserved it. Like,
yeah, he seemed,
you know,
like an
ass. I don't know how long the divorce has been going on, but in the beginning, he turns out to be. He portrays himself to be like a playboy, like the women want him, and we got money now, so we don't send one drink. We'll send a bottle to the bar.
Which was so weird. Like, I've never heard someone say a bottle. Even, like, his friend was like, a bottle?
In a bar. Not like, we going to the store, what do you want? A bottle? No.
About a bottle, also of red wine.
Of red wine. Sparklers. And which is strange because the plot of the movie, we're going to fast forward to, of course, the end.
But it took a long time. It took a long time to get to, like, the issue.
But the thing about it is, they were just two girls at the bar.
Yeah.
How did the wife know to send these two women to the bar?
Well, because he was way too horny. He was nonstop wanting to fuck on everything. So if you're that willing to fuck on everything, every woman was like, oh my God. The way they were talking, him and his friend were talking about women, so then I'm like, did you just get out of jail? What's happening?
Right.
So but in the, like, big text that, this is how you know I didn't care for Pierre. He saved this woman in his phone as little short stack and then a little asterisk and said threesome. So no, this man didn't deserve any of our sympathy. So he said that his ex-wife was like stalking him, having him followed. So I guess, but then you're right. What if he wasn't interested in the woman?
Yeah,
it was too.
And so these women that his ex-wife had him set up with said that he got both of them pregnant. He had a threesome. He don't remember anything that happened. The woman that he sent the bottle to, they had a threesome that night. Okay, he woke up. Only one of them was there.
That woman the other woman didn't say any words. She was in that one scene and never showed up. Never showed up again.
The next morning,
she did.
The woman he had the one night stand with, she had made him breakfast. You know, which was super strange. Like they woke up and it was like the way they were talking to each other was like they knew each other.
Familiar, very familiar. Oh, also they didn't address it that he's staying with his friend, his female best friend. Okay, I hate the word female. His
best friend
who's a woman.
Yeah.
You don't know that until she doesn't even make it seem like she's in maybe one scene before it. I just thought that was like housekeeper.
That's what I asked. That I'm like, oh, is she the maid? Like, what's going on? Because he didn't.
Their relationship didn't seem familiar.
They didn't seem like they were like best friends since second grade or something like that. They didn't seem too familiar. It seemed like she was just like annoyed with the fact he was on the couch and he was making a mess, and she was ready for him to leave. He can go, and then it also turned out that he had 2 houses and
a
boat and cars and all that. So why, if you have money like this and you sending bottles and you got money to blow and you this real estate tycoon, why are you sleeping on the couch?
It didn't make sense. Also, every scene he wore like a 3-piece suit. And it was the ugliest Steve Harvey-ist suits. They were all disgusting.
Oh, man, Steve Harvey suit from I feel like...
This movie could have been in like 2001. This was shot last year.
I said that this looks like an episode of Moesha.
He
had on Moesha's dad's suits.
Yep.
I said he looked like a used car salesman. Moesha's dad was a used car salesman.
He was so slimy.
The way he was talking was like, yeah, you know. It was just like, and his eyes, the way he would cut his eyes and stuff like that. If you've seen the Michael Jordan cognac eyes, that is the same eyes that Pierre Jackson. It hurt to even say the name Pierre Jackson. Pierre Jackson had. He had these brown cigar, cognac, E&J eyes, and his friend had the nerve to comment and say these Michael Ealy eyes.
I was so insulted from Michael Ealy. I'm like, I'm sorry. This is like the Beyonce. You look like fucking Luther Vandross. No, he disgusted me.
Oh, man.
So it turns out his wife set him up. They didn't. I mean, I don't know. They weren't pregnant, but like, did she drug him? Like, there were some weird things that were kind of left whatever.
Yeah, in typical movies like these, there's a lot of questions at the end of them. A lot of times, there's more questions than you have answers.
My favorite part was the editing, though.
Okay. All right.
Because instead of just, you know how 2 people, me and Barry are both on camera and you're not switching from me, and then him, then me, they would switch. Every time someone would speak, it was very disorienting.
Very disorienting. It's almost like if I was it was like triggering if I had like epilepsy or something like that. The way it's going back and forth. Every time they talk, they cut back instead of just making it like a shot like me and her just talking right here. Nope. It had to be directly on whoever was speaking and then over the shoulder of who wasn't speaking.
It was disgusting. So, but I loved
Christopher Nolan, the director of this movie.
That's funny too. So Christopher Nolan, if you guys know anything about movies, directed like The Dark Knight. He's a Inception. He's a very good director. This man is Christopher Nolan with an E instead of an A because he's trying to think. You're like, it's
like Michael Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. It's like that's totally different people.
Like those are not the same person. Not the same person. So this Christopher Nolan is a menace to society, and we will be watching more of his films because he's been writing since 1998.
Okay.
So there's a lot. There's a lot.
Make this a thing.
The name of the thing is Christopher Nolan Fan Club.
What did you think of the acting?
What did I think of the acting?
There's only one familiar face in this thing.
And it was like barely familiar. That
Barely
you're like,
familiar.
do I know you? The acting was bad, but in the way of it was too much. The reactions were really big.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he was talking, Pierre Jackson's talking to his ex-wife, who's like, I guess the villain. They were all kind of villains to me, but she's, I guess, the most villain-is one of the movie. He was like, sit down! Yelling at him.
You couldn't even say it. I walked in and I saw him. You suck.
And then he went and he's like, dick. Like, I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
He whispered dick.
Dick.
Oh, wow.
Like,
okay. And then they see each other at the cafe. Yeah. The dude that she was cheating on him with.
He threatened his life. Like, it was like, how are you allowed? He said, man, if you value your life. And I'm like, is he going to shoot this bitch up? What's happening? And then all the other women were stupid idiots. Send him to hell.
He had them tails from the hood eyes, like, welcome to hell. Like, I'm sending you there. Devil. Yes. He was looking like the devil throughout the entire movie. Like in the beginning, the first scene.
Okay, normal.
It was normal. His eyes was white, and next thing he took a line of coke, and like it was just the rest of the movie. He was
brown.
Just like
the whites
done.
of his eyes were brown.
He was done.
And everyone's gonna fight me on this, but I was convinced he was wearing colored contacts. I don't care. It was just
the lighting.
No.
Nope.
His eyes were hazel. And then they were brown. No. That's why I know. No, that's why he called them Michael Ealy eyes, because they were light at one point, and then they were brown.
But it was daytime. It was like it was like the way he was sitting, in the blinds, the way they were. No. Everybody's eyes look more brown versus right now. You just looking at somebody, their eyes look black. But if you look at sunlight, they're brown.
Eyes, I'm like,
hell no.
That man was wearing colored contacts.
His eyes was like one color almost. It was like red and like dark red.
He looked like he was dead. That man was. I think they were. I have a theory they were actually drinking. All the drinking scenes they were acting. There's no way they weren't drinking.
The acting was just okay for me. It was a part where his best friend took 2 shots of tequila and she was through. Like she had like a hangover the next morning, hair all over the place.
She was hungover while still drinking.
Hard to walk down the stairs off of 2 shots of whatever the fuck it was they were drinking.
Tequila. I think she said it was tequila.
2 shots and she was done. He was like, I took the day off work because you need somebody to take care of you. Mind you, it's his business. You didn't take that day off. It's yours.
You work for yourself.
Exactly.
I love that part that we were both like. You can't take off. You don't like calling off.
Yeah.
But
it sounds good though.
Yeah.
It sounds good if I told somebody that,
I'd be like, cool.
So, in the.
Oh, no. Can we talk about the costumes? They matched. The 2 love interests matched every single scene.
They matched for sure.
So, also, we never talked about her name. Her name is Phoenix, spelled Phenx.
Wow, yeah,
it was just no O. Sure. I was like, Phoenix.
And
then the closed caption said it, and I said, no O. Phoenix, no O. So,
literally.
Phoenix.
The O is silent anyway.
But it looked so weird. I was like, why that? You know what I mean? No one else's name was spelled weird.
How often do you color
coordinate with John? Not that often. John wears more colors than me though. Okay. But I mean, right now my top is green, his hat's green. But if he took that hat off, we wouldn't be matching.
That wasn't on purpose. Never color coordinated like
not
that.
Not on purpose.
We'll wear loud ass labels. But that's it.
Yeah, it's not really, and it was so weird and obvious. She was wearing red pants, he wore a red shirt, they both wore yellow on their date.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was cute.
We went to
in a girlfriend's UPN kind of way.
Yeah. It felt very girlfriend.
Yeah.
It felt
like a UPN made for TV
UPN
movie.
made, yep.
There you go.
Yep, that's what this one was.
Yep.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
The acting was it was okay. It wasn't as bad as I got to hook up, but it was.
I think that.
What was a highlight for you? Versus a low light.
Highlight of that movie is him screaming in that woman's face. No, actually, I'm sorry, I didn't talk about this. I'll talk about highlight. There's this very weird scene of him just walking to the car, but instead of walking to the car, it's like a kind of jump cut, or an edit. It's an edit.
It's like some. I don't know what the hell that was. It was an edit for sure.
It's editing, but he's fading, not away, but fading closer to the car. And it's so weird and unnecessary that it was a weird choice. That all these movies have the bizarrest choices that you're like, why that?
Okay, I don't really have many highlights, but the low light for me is when he finds out, or supposedly he got two babies on the way, and his best friend that he's making it work with, they decide they're going to be in a relationship together. He kind of pressures her into like
taking care of
the two kids with him, and she's like, okay, and she's immediately looking like defeated, like what have I done? Like, oh, I want him to go, but I can't because I love him.
Super manipulative.
He manipulated her to the max, and then he kissed her on the forehead. Like, all right, I got.
He's like, I'm gonna go upstairs. And good night. I've had a hard day, and it was clearly at this point a relationship of opportunity for him.
For sure.
And she was just like stuck. I would have been like, no, get out of my house.
He didn't really show any signs of being like a tycoon or like really having money like that.
The suits. It was the suits and the Bluetooth. Hello?
Whatever.
Hi.
But the fact that he was an opportunist for sure because she's a flight attendant. She's not home that often. And, hey, I need you to help me. At this time, it wasn't on purpose. And, I'm fresh off a divorce, and like
I'm sure there was hints that she's been in love with him more overt than he liked her back. Because I'm like, oh no, he was preying on that. It's like, hey girl, I'm single now. I need you, and she's like, oh yeah. Oh, disgusting. I was disgusted by it. That was the true low light of this woman being like, the man I love is having two children, and he's like, oh, that was insane. These two women he never met before that he got pregnant. He's like, I'm going to have them sign over parental rights. Huh?
I'm going to take care of my responsibility.
My seed.
My seeds.
My seeds. I hated that.
Oh, my God.
My seeds.
Bring out the Timberlands and jean shorts. My seeds.
My seeds. He's wearing jorts and a Bluetooth. My seeds.
So on the scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the best and the worst.
I feel like, okay,
I got to hook up this Hall of Fame. We got to put movies in the Hall of Fame right now. So
yeah, I got the hookup. This is right there.
It's like a Hall of Fame right there. So, but from my point of view, Pierre Jackson didn't really.
No, I thought it. See, I didn't know that.
There weren't a lot of ridiculous scenes. There weren't enough ridiculous scenes,
I did. We always forgot this one part that there was only four like scenes in the movie, as in scenery.
Yeah.
His office, which was ugly as shit.
Yeah.
Her house, which was also ugly.
The house was
ugly. The nightclub, whatever, it was just dark, and then lawyer office. Oh, and that restaurant.
Restaurant.
Restaurant lawyers are five.
It takes place in four things in the movie. 4 spots in the movie.
So 1 to 10. This used to be, or 1 to 5. I'm sorry. Okay. This used to be a 5, and then I saw how I got the hookup, which I was lost and confused and upset throughout the whole thing. So I'm gonna give this like a 3.
Okay.
And a half.
Okay. I'm about there.
It was pretty bad, but somehow not as bad as I got the hookup. But pretty bad. No stars in it. No, there's no stars. No stars.
No stars.
No redeeming that I'm like, no.
And it's also not something I'm going to recommend to someone either. That's another thing about these urban comedies, urban films, I guess you can say. Like, I Got the Hookup is so bad, but I'm like, dog, you have to see it because it's so bad that it's actually pretty entertaining. Pierre Jackson is like, yo, I don't want nobody else watching this shit.
You were embarrassed. You're like, I don't want
nobody else watching this.
Man, I don't host this show no more.
Yeah, I don't want nobody else watching. I'm not, that's really one of the defining factors of these movies.
Okay. So then if we're going off that, I recommended it to people when I didn't know there was anything worse out there. Mm-hmm. But now that I have been on the other side, 3.5.
3.5, I say 3.5 as well. But I also have to say that Jazzmin isn't really... really informed about these type of movies.
Stop putting me on blast. Why? Back to back.
Because we have to see some of these.
Okay.
She hasn't even seen Friday. Next Friday after next, none of them. Okay.
Haven't seen Belly.
Haven't seen Belly. None of these movies. Now, Belly is also one of the epitome worst.
Fame.
It's Hall of Fame worthy.
Okay.
It's very good. People.
Next time we film.
I think if we had like the cap of bad movies that are fucking great, Belly is there.
And people overhype Belly because of the opening
right? I've seen the opening scene through the club, right?
There's a direction. Like I said, it's great on mute.
I've seen that.
If you play some music up under it, you can play some DMX, Nas, Method Man, whatever, under the soundtrack of the movie.
Is the star of the movie?
He's one of them. He's one of the leads.
DMX is really
his star. You see DMX more than you see.
Yeah.
But I love DMX, but I'm like...
I like Nas better as an actor.
Nas is trash.
Nas is the worst actor in that movie.
If I had to pick Nas music over belly acting, I pick belly acting. It was that.
Ooh, yikes! It was big yikes.
It's Hall of Fame.
That it was good.
Yeah.
Like,
Nas is
Next time
you
we'll
have
watch
to
Belly.
watch
Like-
Belly.
it was great.
Like the scene where him and DMX meet up at the diner. Like,
Bro, that acting was so trash, bro. And, but you so into the story,
It's
but
been a minute
Okay,
since I seen
so you know what?
he had on a
We'll
good
try to
Yeah,
viral
dog.
theme these. So if we're watching movies with musicians, you could be Belly. I'll do what's it called? State Property. I've seen State Property.
It's also wild that you've seen State Property, but you
1 and 2. I've seen both of them.
but you've
not-
never.
I've seen State Property.
So wait, have you seen Shadas?
I've seen Shadows too. I've seen Shadows
State
too.
Property is bad.
I think State Property is bad. Yeah, I see you feel the way about it. You're like,
Look, man, anything
like,
Rockefeller
hey.
related, I
think State Property's bad?
I
I
can't
do.
shit on.
I do think State Property is bad. You don't.
Beanie Singer was a
I mean, I enjoy it as much as I enjoy
about Killer
Belly. Like,
Killer Season is terrible.
I don't think I've ever seen Killer
oh,
Season.
Killer Season 2? Killer Season 2? Oh my
Is that super
god.
bad?
That is Hall of Fame
How?
movie as well.
Somebody help me!
Or I can. Oh my! You know what? I have a gem.
You know
for
what's a
you.
great bad movie? Bones.
Bones
a
is
great-
really
a
bad.
Great bad movie.
Snoop.
Bones is
Bones is a
Snoop.
great
Snoop
bad
is like a demon.
Yeah, I've seen on
Yeah,
BT. I've seen like
okay,
the
okay.
but you know what?
That's the show. I've seen
I've seen on BT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I've seen
the
on
show. That's the
BT.
show.
Yeah, I've seen on BT. I've seen on BT.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow, wait!
That's perfect.
Organic moment.
That's perfect.
I've seen on BT.
Oh, great. We have a title now. All
That's
right.
perfect.
They changed motherfuckers.
I love it.
Young
I
Mothers.
love it. You know what mine will be? I'm gonna tell everyone. It's gonna be King of Dance Hall.
That's a good
Oh,
movie.
but that's like
Oh,
straight to
yeah.
YouTube.
That's
Don't
like,
care.
No, listen.
Don't
that's like-
care.
That's a good movie at like 2 a.m.
Yes, that's when I've seen it. Me and Wanda were super drunk, and I'm like, I have YouTube Red.
I left in the middle of
John
that
said,
shit.
no.
I'm out.
I said, I want to watch Nick
can't.
Cannon.
That and
suffer
Underclassmen
through it.
are my favorite Nick Cannon themes.
I love.
I want to redo myself as underclassmen. Nick Cannon's role.
Or we
I
can
wanna be in
also, then we could watch terrible reboots too. When How High?
All right, too. Oh,
And
my
which
God.
is the other one that's I feel like there was one with Wiz
Carlito's way
Khalifa
too.
in there.
That
What-
was
It
That was How High too.
But then I feel like there was one with
Yeah,
Yachty. Was he in?
That's How High too, but the one with Wiz is not How High.
Yeah, I've seen
That
that
was
one.
high
Unfortunately.
school.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That was so bad. And it was weirdly pornographic halfway through. Like a very graphic sexual scene that I was like,
I didn't really get through it because I remember it was like a cartoon or something that would pop up every once in a while. And
yeah,
talk or
a
something.
cartoon like joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that. And yeah, no, you know what? That might.
All right, so
Third
Belly's on the
course.
list for the next time, and what she said, King of the Dance Hall. All right,
Dance
so that's our review. 3.5 for Pierre Jackson.
Yeah,
Watch at your own risk. It's on Netflix.
it's on Netflix.
So you ain't really losing nothing. Everybody
No.
has Netflix or stealing Netflix.
Yeah,
or whatever.
steal it. I'm excited.
Till next time. See you later on I See It on BET.